Oh, we're missing Cindy.
It's all good.
Sorry, that was me last time running in. Okay, welcome to the February 11th board meeting. Let's take attendance. Mr. Wallace?
Present?
Ms. Healy? Ms. Redmond? Ms. Freeborn? Dr. Gonzalez? And then Mr. Scudder is out today. I would like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personal contracts.
Motion.
Motion, second? All in favor? Motion passed. We'll be right back at 7 o'clock. Thank you. Ready? Okay. Hello, everyone, and I'm going to make a motion to return to open session.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Now I have a message from the district clerk about translation services.
Good evening. If you would like to take advantage of translation services, please see Ms. Cass in the back of the room.
Muy buenas noches, les damos la bienvenida a la Junta Educativa del Distrito de Riverhead. Si necesitan interpretación, por favor acérquense en la parte de atrás para poderles ayudar. Gracias.
Thank you very much. Now I'll turn it over to our student representative.
Good evening, everyone. Starting off with Riverhead Avenue School. Riverhead Avenue students have been studying the challenges, accomplishments, and contributions of historical figures during Black History Month, connecting their learning to themes of bravery, resilience, and community. Our recent Global School Play Day reminded students, staff, and families of the importance of play in developing collaboration, flexible thinking, and problem-solving skills that support success both inside and outside the classroom. We are also excited to join schools across the district in recognizing PS I Love You Day. Throughout the week, students have been reflecting on kindness and how to deep dive shine bright in their classrooms and community. Pulaski Street School. Pulaski is participating in PS I Love You Week, reinforcing in kindness, inclusion, and student well-being through the daily themed activities. Students have taken part in initiatives such as Chalk the Walk, Kindness Grams, and community-based acts of kindness, while also partnering with local businesses to spread positivity beyond the school walls. Roanoke Avenue School. Roanoke has expanded PS I Love You Day into a full week of reflection and kindness. Students are piling their cups with acts of self-love, friendship, and community appreciation. Activities include writing affirmations about themselves, sharing kind messages with classmates, and creating Valentine's Day cards for residents at the West Hampton Care Center, and adding messages of school pride to building-wide displays. This week will conclude with a Sea of the Purple Day and a school-wide reflection assembly. Student council members will also visit the West Hampton Care Center to deliver the handmade cards and connect with residents, spreading kindness beyond the classroom in a meaningful way. Phillips Avenue School. Phillips Avenue PTO recently hosted a wonderful Valentine's Day cookie decorating night, bringing families together for an evening of fun and community spirit. Third graders also visited the West Hampton Performing Arts Center for an engaging hands-on presentation about pressure. In addition, students participated in a global play day, enjoying an unstructured play that encouraged creativity, collaboration, and social growth. Aquabog Elementary School. In honor of Black History Month, students in Miss Ahern's art classes are studying African American artists. First graders are exploring the work of Reggie Lauren, creating shape collages inspired by the use of his geometric and organic forms. Aquabog also participated in the Great Kindness Challenge and through a PTO-sponsored coin drive, raised funds to donate to the Butterfly Effect Project, turning kindness into meaningful community action. Riverhead Middle School. Riverhead Middle School is recognizing PS I Love You Week with themed days promoting positivity and mental health awareness, including Motivation Monday, Colors of Kindness, Riverhead Pride Day, and Purple Day. Students are also sharing notes of encouragement and spreading messages like, "Be the light." In financial literacy classes, students are competing in the Capitol Hill Stock Market Game Challenge. After 2 weeks, Riverhead Middle School ranks 10th out of 63 schools in the region, with 4 teams placing in the top 50 out of 675 groups. We are so proud of our students for applying teamwork, complex thinking, and real-world financial skills. Riverhead High School. On February 7th, the varsity kick line team competed at the Long Island Dance Team Alliance competition and earned second place in both Section 1 large varsity kick line and large varsity hip-hop categories. Their performance reflected tremendous dedication, discipline, and school pride. Congratulations to the team and their advisor, Mrs. Kelly, on their outstanding achievement.
Turn it over to the superintendent.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call up building principal, Mr. Payton. It was a trick microphone.
Thanks for the embarrassment, appreciate it. Just kidding. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to introduce 3 of our 4th grade student council members from Roanoke who are going to let you know what is it about Riverhead that feels like home to them. So I'd like to invite Brighton Bowes, Allison Soroy, and Fiona Philmon. You can have a seat right here. Do you want me to leave this on?
It's okay. Yeah, you can leave it on. Sure. That's fine.
Miss Herbst and Miss Walston asked what about Riverhead feels like home to us. Well, it's not just one thing, but a combination of a lot of things. Riverhead feels like home to me because it is a place where I feel safe, happy, and welcome as a Roanoke student. I get to learn not only in my classroom, but all around my community. Going on field trips to the aquarium, the science center, Wildwood State Park, and Halleckville makes learning exciting and helps me feel connected to where I live. When I walk around Riverhead, I see places that make me smile. I can walk to Stockseas Park to run, play, and laugh with my friends. There are fun places like Splish Splash, the beach, and nearby farms where families spend time together. Walking into Caruso's feels like home because of the friendly faces, and the pizza always tastes just right. Stores like Gala Fresh represent our Hispanic culture, and seeing foods and people that remind me of my family makes me feel like I belong. Roanoke Avenue School is a huge part of why Riverhead feels like home. Our teachers care about us, and many of them were once students here themselves, like Mr. Richardson, Miss Reese, Miss Cutner, and Miss Walston. That makes Roanoke feel extra special because they chose to come back to Riverhead and teach. This is so inspirational to many of us students. At Roanoke, every morning we start our day with live announcements that stream to the whole school. We dance, sing. Wait, we even have our own Roanoke jingle. You'd have to tune in to hear it. These morning announcements give us energy to start the day. Our days start with smiles the moment we walk through the door. We are greeted with big smiles, hugs, and thumbs up from Mr. Brown, which makes us feel safe and seen and important. Riverhead is kind, but really, Riverhead is a family. When our assistant principal, Dr. Lopez, announced she was having a baby, It felt like our whole school was celebrating a new Roanoke member together. Moments like that show how much we care about one another. It is easy to be happy here because Riverhead is home, but truly Roanoke is a small school with the biggest heart.
Wow. So don't go anywhere just yet. What I'm going to tell you is that I am so proud of the three of you. You worked that so well. You were in sync. You read in front of an entire group of people. And more importantly, you can tell that you did this together. And just being over at Roanoke, it definitely has that family feel where everybody's working together and you're laughing together and you're having a good time when you're going to school. And today, what you did was you really demonstrated that, and you did it really well. The only thing I'm going to say is you mentioned Caruso's. I intended to eat today, and now all of a sudden I'm really hungry, so thank you so much for bringing that up. All right, but no, you did a great job, and we're very proud of you. We have some certificates for you, and we're going to take a quick picture, all right, and we'll get you squared away, okay?
We like Caruso's too. But we like them all. That's right. We do like them all.
Now, this recommendation here says, bridge sharing, what Riverhead means to me, helping to tell the story of our community. Your words remind us that Riverhead is more than a place. Riverhead is home built on people, stories, and people. All right, so we're gonna take a picture of these, and I'm gonna have you please sign it. All right, so we can have that and take that. All right, that makes sense. All right, where's Allison? Perfect. All right. And Brighton is right. All right, you want to go take a quick picture? We'll do this.
Call 911.
All right, don't go anywhere yet. So while we're waiting, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call up Mr. O'Hara just for a brief moment. It just seems like every time I turn around, the NJROTC, they're winning some competition. They're always on the forefront of everything that we're doing here. And as you can see, for presenting, at the beginning of the meeting, or even here tonight, they didn't move. Well, they were perfect. They offered, but it was perfect. They knew the space was there. They were good, and it's just really impressive, coming into a school district and realizing that this is just a small portion. There's 179 members, 179. It's staggering, and what we learned from this is that our kids are remarkable and they're special, and we're very proud of them. But I'm going to let Mr. O'Hara just speak a little bit more.
Thank you, Dr. Hagan. Tonight, we are proud to recognize the Riverhead High School NJROTC for their outstanding accomplishments, leadership, and service to our school and community. The NJROTC program exemplifies Riverhead pride through the professionalism cadets display in uniform and conduct, the respect they show for one another, their instructors, and their community, their ability to remain in the moment and focused under pressure, their commitment to direct communication and accountability, and their engaged teamwork in every competition, service activity, and daily responsibility. Together, our 179 cadets represent the very best of Riverhead High School. We commend the NJROTC unit, its student leaders, and its instructors for modeling the values that define our school and for representing Riverhead with distinction. I would like to introduce student leaders Kayla Gatto and Matthew Andruski, who will share some of the unit's highlights from this school year.
Good evening, my name is Matthew Andrzejewski. I'm the commanding officer of the unit, and I could not be more proud of the group of cadets standing up there. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we did this year. So some examples is from Southold, where we took trophies from most of our teams, ranging from 3rd to 1st, in our 1st cadet division, as well as our varsity teams. And our most notable is our area regional championship. We placed 3rd in unarmed drill, and we haven't taken a trophy home from the area regional championship since at least I've been here. So it's been a huge accomplishment, and I couldn't be more proud of these kids, and I can't wait to come back years to come and see what they can do.
Good evening, I'm Caleb Gatto. I just want to say this program offers an unparalleled opportunity for individual growth, both in leadership skills and character development. It leaps and bounds more than any other program this school has to offer, allows students to get that valuable leadership skills, learning responsibility and commitment. And I thank you all for giving us that opportunity and allowing us to operate. So thank you so much for all support you give us. That was all.
So I'm going to present you with a certificate of recognition, and it reads as follows, and it goes to all of you. In recognition of the 2025-2026 Riverhead High School NJROTC for distinguished service and leadership, and for exemplifying Riverhead pride through professionalism, respect, focused in the moment, direct communication, and engaged teamwork. Congratulations.
Can you move down?
All right, so we'll move on to, are there any public comments on the consent agenda? Any online? A motion to accept the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. All in favor? Motion passes. All these, okay, that's what I thought. So on to new business. Letter A, appointment of vote workers for special district meeting. This is, the Riverhead Central School District appoints the following persons for a special district meeting, qualified voters on April 14, 2026 for the Riverhead Free Library and Baiting Hollow Free Library vote. Chairperson Dawn Buzikowski, Inspectors of Election Barbara Lennon, Vivian Hobson, poll clerks Joseph Ledonowski, Kimberly Ligon, Vivian Nicholas, and Marlene Vera Viteri. All in motion? Second? Thank you, Ms. Healy. All in favor? Motion passes. Letter B, approval of federal single audit, June 2024. This hereby accepts the federal single audit for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, as performed and prepared by Independent Auditor Bondino Group, certified public accountants for submittal to New York State Education Department and other relevant authorities. Motion? Motion. Thank you, Ms. Freeborn. Second? Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. All in favor? Motion passes. Letter C, approval of agreement pilot. This hereby approves the attached authorization agreement with respect to the issuance of consolidated pilot statement and remittance of payments in lieu of taxes by the Long Island Power Authority. Do you have a motion? Motion. Second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Moore. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion passes. Letter D, approval of letter of engagement. This approves the letter of engagement with Meraki Smith LLP to perform agreed upon procedures related to the district's safety and security internal controls for the 25-26 school year at an annual fee not to exceed $17,000. Do we have a motion? Motion. Thank you, Ms. Healy. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion passes. Letter E, acceptance of mini grant. This is an acceptance of the mini grant offered by the LGBT network in the amount of $500. The grant will be utilized to support the development and sustainability of Riverhead Middle School's Gender and Sexuality Alliance by providing inclusive education, resources, and materials that foster acceptance, belonging, and student voice. Funds will be used to purchase age-appropriate educational materials, presentation supplies, and student-created resources. Do you have a motion? Thank you, Ms. Freeborn. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion passes. Letter F, approval of intermunicipal agreements. This recommendation, the Superintendent of Schools Board of Education hereby approves the intermunicipal agreement with William Floyd Union School District for the provision of student transportation for Riverhead students and/or chaperones to attend the annual New York State Band Directors Association Symposium in Liverpool, New York, from March 6, 2026 to March 8, 2026, at a cost based on actual participation as set forth in the agreement. Do we have a motion? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Second? Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion passes. Next is letter G, approval of contracts. This is approval of multiple contracts. The first one, Public Schools of Tarrytown solicited bid laborers for small projects. Town of Riverhead for Ford Auto Parts. a resolution on April 9, 2025 for the town of Huntington, a bid awards for uniforms. And whereas the town of Huntington solicited a bid of uniform selected items on November 13th, 2025. Do I have a motion? Thank you, Ms. Healy. Can I have a second? Second. Thank you, Ms. Freeborn. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion passes. Letter H, amendment to contract award name due to change in business classification. This is for Riverhead Schools that awarded a contract for educational and behavioral services to St. James Tutoring, whereas the name, Riverhead has noticed a change in classification of business ownership from St. James Tutoring to St. James Tutoring Services, Inc. And this will, accepting the addendum, will provide a continuation services with the awarded vendor under the new name St. James Tutoring Services, Inc. Can I have a motion? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I have a second? Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion passes. Letter I, approval of field trips. This is for 2 field trips. The first one is a field trip for approximately 4 students of the NJROTC to attend the Brain Brawl A2 final competition academic team with NJROTC on February 28th, 2026 in Colts Neck, New Jersey, with approximate cost to the district of $840. And then the second one amends the previously approved resolution authorizing agreement approved by the Board of Ed to correct the costs associated with said resolution, and then the correct cost was approximately $1,567.36. Can I have a motion to approve? Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. A second? Thank you, Ms. Freeborn. Any questions or comments? Yes, good luck. All in favor? Motion passes. Letter J, approval of donations. There are 3 donations. The first is an anonymous source has offered to donate $360 to Phillips Avenue School to be used for after-school activities for the students. The second donation, Rick Kruger of the Blue Ways Booster Club has offered a donation of a new chain link fence in front of the baseball dugouts with an estimated cost of $5,500. And the third is Riverhead Building Supply has offered a donation of building materials for Phillips Avenue Elementary School for the after-school program at an approximate value of $500. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Healy. Any questions or comments?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All in favor? Motion approved. We have a new item K, which is a walk-on resolution, come out executive. This is a Title IX appeal determination. I'm going to read a resolution. Whereas in or about January 2025, the district received a Title IX complaint against an employee named in the attached confidential Schedule A. And whereas following a full investigation and determination regarding the merits of the complaint, and the aforementioned employee filed an appeal of the decision maker's determination of the complaint with the Board of Education, and whereas on February 11th, 2026, the board met in executive session to review and consider the appeal and has reached the following determination. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby denies the appeal, upholds the January 23rd, 2026 determination of the decision maker, and authorizes the President of the Board of Education to notify the employee named in the confidential Schedule A in writing of the reasons for the denial as discussed and determined by the Board of Education in executive session. Call for a motion? Motion. Thank you, Ms. Healy. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion passes. We have another walk-on, item L. A 3028 probable cause determination. I'm going to read the resolution. Whereas the superintendent of schools has preferred charges against the employee named in the confidential Schedule A pursuant to Section 3020A of New York State Education law, and whereas the Board of Education has determined by a vote of majority of all the members of the board that probable cause exists for the charges preferred against said employee by the superintendent of schools. Be it resolved that the employee named in the confidential Schedule A is hereby suspended with pay pending the hearing on charges and the final determination thereof. And it be further resolved that should the employee named in the executive session either waive his or her rights to a hearing or be found guilty of the charges after the hearing, the Board of Education shall seek his or her termination from service in the Riverhead Central School District. Can I call for a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. Second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion passes. And now, do we have any board men or committee?
Yeah, facilities. So on January 28th, 2026, the Facilities Committee met to review major capital projects, maintenance operations, and safety-related facility work across the district. The committee received a positive update for the EPC, the Energy Performance Contract, that H2M Architects reporting that the SED granted final approval. All projects, components, including the solar and boiler upgrades, were approved. Construction planning is underway with the projected start date of July 1st, 2026, to preserve eligibility for the acceptable grants and the rebates. The completion of the expected by the end of 2027. Administration confirmed readiness to proceed with the next stage of borrowing. Updates were provided on the renovations of the kitchen project, at Riley Avenue and Phillips Avenue. Required facility and child nutrition approvals have been secured following delays related to the state review. Projects are expected to be brought to the Board of Approval February 11th. Due to lack of electrical bids, the district plans to utilize a qualified contractor through Suffolk County contract to keep the projects on schedule. The committee reviewed snow removal operations. Nothing that the district staff handled all work initially, resulted in significant cost savings to the district. Minor storm-related facility issues were addressed promptly. Administration also reported an extensive maintenance work that was completed during the holiday break. The amount of work that they did is unbelievable. It's incredible how much work they got done. Thank you, Mary Ann, for overseeing that with Anthony. Upcoming break work, several priority safety projects included boiler upgrades, the stage rigging repairs that was done in a whole bunch of the schools, which is very important for the safety. Playground equipment improvements. Committee members emphasized the importance of communicating safety-related improvements to the community. The meeting was concluded with the discussion of improvement, collaboration of facilities and transportation staff, and continue to work together and maintain building safety and efficiency. And that was it.
The Community Involvement and Language Access Advisory Committee met on February 2nd, 2026 to continue discussions from prior meetings and review district efforts related to communication access, translation services, and equitable access to programs. The committee focused on Parent Square access and language support. District administration shared that Parent Square instructional materials can be translated into multiple languages and outlined a plan to cross-reference Parent Square enrollment with the student management system to identify families not yet enrolled. Targeted outreach would then be used to assist families with sign-up and language preference selection. Administration also noted that Parent Square provides engagement data, calls, texts, and emails opened, which can help identify where additional support is needed. Discussion also addressed translation tools and communication practices, including the district's ability to translate documents while maintaining formatting and the goal of providing materials in at least English and Spanish when feasible.
Website translation features were reviewed, and administration shared that improvements to the website are being explored to make information easier to find and navigate. The committee revisited special education language access, including translation for CSC and IEP meetings. While procedures are in place, the need for clearer guidance on who families should contact with questions was identified. Administration committed to working toward a clearer contact protocol. An update was requested on interpretation services for PTO meetings, particularly for the first in-person meetings in September. Administration agreed to review options across buildings and report back by the March 30th, 2026 meeting. The dual language program was also discussed, with administration noting that program structure, staffing, and potential expansion remain under review as part of the budget process. Related topics included bilingual substitute availability, dual language report cards, and advanced language options at the upper elementary level. Additional discussion includes student access to extracurricular activities, programs, and athletics, college and post-secondary preparation, cultural sensitivity training, and how incidents of racial bullying are addressed. Administration indicated that follow-up information would be provided. The committee also revisited community reassurance and safety concerns, reaffirming district procedures on school grounds and acknowledging limits of district authority beyond school property, while noting coordination with community organizations where appropriate. Several items were identified for follow-up, including bilingual substitute recruitment, dual language report cards, cultural sensitivity training, and continued review of communication and translation services.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace and Ms. Redmond. Any board comments?
I had the pleasure of attending Empty Bowls last Thursday night at the high school. It was just an incredible event. The cooking club prepared soup, which was incredibly yummy, and the art students provided ceramic bowls that were incredibly beautiful. They had such an array, so you could buy your bowls and get some soup and enjoy the company of the community members. And the proceeds are going to local food banks, which is greatly appreciated, particularly this time of the year. We all know that people are incredibly generous around the holidays, but during these difficult winter months where a lot of outside work dries up, the food pantries are really in desperate need of assistance. So, of course, our high school students were more than happy to offer that assistance. I also attended, I think a bunch of us did attend Lion King Jr. at the middle school. The talent across the district in terms of art, music, athletics, is just astounding. And to see these young people pretty much at the beginning of their theatrical careers here in the district, kids that I know from peer leadership that I was so surprised to see them up on that stage, and the way they performed was just incredible. It was such a treat.
I also attended the Lion King Jr. and it was fabulous. They had us cracking up in the stands. These kids are amazing, and I love to attend the plays. I think it's their performances rival the Broadway. Next, we have opportunity for RCFA.
Good evening, Gregory Wallace, Riverhead Central Faculty Association President. I wanted to thank Dr. Hagan to extend the invitation to myself and Ms. Simoes to the legislative breakfast this weekend. You know, it's a pretty controlled environment. You're not allowed to ask questions off the floor. They get the questions ahead of time. You know, you don't really want a gotcha moment when schools are asking for things. So, but out of the 7 questions, 2 of the questions were very near and dear to our heart. One of them was pre-K. The state is planning on doubling the funding for pre-K by, was it like 2027? You know, we have been strong advocates of the pre-K program. We actually wrote a resolution that was passed at the NYSED RA. So once you pass a resolution at the NYSED RA, then that becomes part of the agenda of the state union. And, you know, we love the pre-K. If you see what's happening in these classrooms, the kids that come out of pre-K into kindergarten are, you know, a lot of them are reading already, And, it is an investment, but we believe that it saves the district money long-term because you have students that are now get early intervention, they're identified early, you can get them services early, and that will reduce special education costs in the out years. So that was wonderful. And the other question and issue that was discussed was charter school reform and reforming the charter school laws. And every single elected official that sat up there was in favor of changing the rules that involve charter schools. We're hit pretty bad here, but Hempstead is spending $102 million. They're about to go bankrupt. So the anti-charter school movement started here when the charter school tried to relocate to farmland. And that movement, now we can call it a movement, right? Because it was a campaign, but now it's a movement. You have the Superintendent's Association is now getting involved. Every single special interest group that was there on their flyers had charter school reform as a priority. So you can't get legislation unless you have a debate, and now we have the debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything from Laura? Any public comments? Any public comments online? So I think I'll make a motion to close the meeting. Motion? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Second? Thank you, Ms. Freeborn. All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you on March 4th.
Please help support the Riverhead Central School District YouTube channel by subscribing. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, please be sure to push that subscribe button and click the bell to receive notifications. Thank you.